Hello everyone and happy member month. Welcome to Circus World Museum. I'm Scott O'Donnell, the director here, and we're here to celebrate all of you, our fantastic members of the Wisconsin Historical Society, and to thank each of you for being a valued member of our greater family. We thought we'd give you a special behind-the-scenes peek this morning with our archivist Pete Schrake of some amazing elements from the Circus World collection. So get ready, everybody. I'm going to pan slowly around and you'll see Pete, and we'll give you a tour of these fantastic items. Here we go, everybody. Stay tuned. Hey, Pete. What do we got to show our beloved members here today?
We have three items on this table that most folks never get a chance to see when they come to Circus World. And I would go as far as saying there are many regulars to the museum and researchers who rarely get to see these items due to their age and in some cases their fragile nature. One of which is the smallest item that we have here on the table, and this is a newspaper advertisement from Dunlap's American Daily Advertiser from March 1793. Now what makes this so special is that it contains an advertisement for a circus show that would happen later next month in April of 1793, which happens to be for the Ricketts Circus, which also happens to be the first performance of a circus in the United States ever. So this is early advertising for the first circus show ever to take place in the United States, a very special piece in American circus history. The next item that we have is probably our earliest poster that we have related to P.T. Barnum. P.T. Barnum had a long career as a showman going back to the 1840s when he opened his American Museum. But by the 1860s, he had started to move into working with circuses. And in 1879, when this poster was printed, he had his own show. He had started out kind of reformatted the American circus scene in 1872, just a few years earlier when he formed his railroad show, which transformed the American circus business. Putting the circus on the rails, he made a fortune. Well, this is just a few years, this is after the fortune that he made earlier in his career, so this is a few years later. What's special about this poster is that not only is it in its wonderful color, but this is before Barnum, the P.T. Barnum and Great London Circus, which was a very famous circus, and 10 years before he partnered with Barnum and Bailey to form the Barnum and Bailey Circus. So a real special piece in our collection and one that we don't pull out very often. Now the third piece that we have is one that we never pull out, and that's due to its, not just its size and its age. This is from 1841, but it's particularly fragile. This is a poster for an untitled circus and menagerie. Unfortunately, we don't know the full title of it, but menageries were traveling zoos that eventually merged with, as an entertainment form, with traveling circuses in the 1830s and 1840s to form the classic circuses that we think of today. And so this is a very early American circus poster. It is a two-sheet poster, meaning that it was printed in two sections, and there's a seam line here, so it comes together to make one big poster. It does have color, which is very unusual for this era. Most posters were black and white, but what really made circus posters stand out in this era, and why circuses were such pioneers in so many ways, especially in advertising, was the use of these images. I mean, these large engravings, actually these would be woodcuts, are really something else. This would grab the attention of the folks passing by on the street. This is from 1841. This was a poster that was hung in Bridgewater, probably Bridgewater, New York. So this is a town that's halfway between Schenectady and Albany, and would have drawn crowds in. It is, unfortunately, when it was preserved many, many, many years ago, and this was a common thing, was varnished over. And so it's all here, it's preserved, it's backed on linen, so it has a stable backing, but to maneuver it around, you can hear it crinkle as you move it around. And so we really don't pull this out very often. And it's too big for our large format scanner, so for us to be able to scan it or to make a digital copy, you have to go through some special steps. This is something that folks never see here at Circus World Museum. It also happens to be one of my favorite pieces. So some special pieces from the collection.
Thanks, Pete, so much for sharing these one-of-a-kind treasures here at Circus World with all of our beloved members. We surely hope when this time of social distancing passes that you'll join us here at Circus World or any of the other fantastic historic sites of the Wisconsin Historical Society. And don't forget, friends, big history is happening now during this time, and we hope that you're all participating in the journaling project that the Wisconsin Historical Society is championing at this time to capture firsthand experience during this worldwide COVID pandemic. Thanks, friends. Stay safe and healthy, and we'll see you back at the Wisconsin Historical Society or Circus World again soon.